This one night, when I arrived for work, my supervisor looked confused and asked me what I was doing here. I said, I work tonight. And he said, but they said you called out a few hours ago, saying you were sick. I was a bit confused and said it must have been someone else and they got the message wrong. After everyone else showed up for work that night, it was a bit weird, but we carried on as usual and assigned everyone their places for the night. I went to work in the control room where I usually work. The control room is the center of the prison. It has direct control over cameras, doors, phones, everything. After I relieved the guard on duty and settled in for the night, I looked at the message that said I called in. It said that I had called at 6:50 and said that I had gotten sick while cleaning up after a storm that had recently happened. There had been a storm the night before, and it was pretty bad, but not anything that I couldn't come in. Nothing even close to that bad. It was really weird. The supervisor came into the control room about that time. He was also a friend of mine outside work, and we started talking about it and how odd it was. I decided to call my wife at home and tell her about it while he was still standing there. I picked up the phone and dialed. After 2 rings, a man picked up the phone and, with a raspy voice, said, "Hello?" I didn't know what to say. I looked at the phone to make sure I dialed the right number, and I had. After a few seconds, "Hello?" Again. I said, "Hello. Who is this?" "This is Taylor. Who's this?" the person said. My head started spinning. "My name's Taylor." I said almost in a scream, "Where is Anne?" He said, "Anne's in bed. Who is this?" I dropped the phone and told my supervisor to ring me out. I had to go home. I could hear Dave pick up the phone behind me and say, "Hello," followed soon after by, "What the fuck?" I busted through the door, and my wife was sitting watching TV, and she was shocked at me being home. I asked her who was there, and she said nobody. After a rather long talk with my wife, I went to call the prison to tell them what was going on. Our phone was dead. I went back to work, and when I came in, Dave was acting weird and asked me, "How the hell are you doing this?" He told me that when I left, he picked up the phone and the person on the other end sounded like me. He freaked out and hung up. A minute later, as he could see my car leaving the parking lot, I had called back from home and asked what the fuck was going on. He said that I was a bit irate and said I was sick. He told me to stop prank calling him. After convincing him I had no idea what was going on, we went back to work. Later, I found that the phone line for my area had been knocked down the night before the storm. Basically, I called myself at work.